Hello, boys and girls. Have you ever been to the beach or maybe played in a sandbox and decided that you wanted to play in wet sand? Maybe at the beach the ocean had come up and made the sand wet, or in the sandbox you would have gotten your garden hose and sprayed it. What's so special about wet sand? Well, I've got some right here. And wet sand stays in place. What happens when you push into it? Let's see. You can see where my fingers have been, right? You can see how my fingers have walked along all in the box. You can see where they've been and where they haven't been. Over here on one side, I went all the way up, but on this side, I'm just going part of the way up. See? Wet sand kind of shows you where you've been, right? When you look back on it. This got me to thinking about the Bible passage that our pastor's going to preach about. It talks about when you're brokenhearted, when you're crushed inside, when you feel really sad and angry. It talks about how God is always with us. We can look back and know that He was there. The Bible tells us, it promises us in Psalms 34. It says, "The Lord is close to those whose hearts have been broken. He saves those whose spirits have been crushed." I know sometimes when you get angry or really sad, you just want to go off and be by yourself. But once you get there, then you feel kind of lonely. But this Bible passage reminds us that God is always with us. There was a story that I heard when I was a kid. It's not a true story, but it teaches something true to us. And here's how it goes. One night, a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along a sandy beach with Jesus. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. Every time there was a scene, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One was belonging to him, and one was belonging to the Lord. Well, when the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at all those footprints in the sand and noticed many times along the path of his life, there was only one set of footprints. And he noticed that that was happening during the times when he was the saddest and the most upset. Well, this really bothered him, and so he decided to ask the Lord about it. And he said, "Lord, I followed you faithfully all my life, but I noticed that when things were really bad for me in my life, there was only one set of footprints in the sand. It looked like you abandoned me." But the Lord looked at him and said, "When things were really bad in your life, I was carrying you. That's why there was only one set of footprints, because I carried you through the really hard times." God is always with us. We can always trust that He is right there to hear our prayer, to offer comfort and love and peace to us. I pray that whatever happens to you this week, that you'll know the peace and comfort of the Lord.